Welcome to Mr. Dimitrios Katsouris, founder of Filler Delta AI and Mentality X. You have also lived in the Middle East. We look forward to hear more about you. So tell us a little bit more about you and your experience in the Middle East.
Okay, well, I'm the founder and CEO of Mentality X and co-founder and co-CEO of Filler Delta AI. I spent a bit of time in Dubai. What I really liked, I must say, about Dubai is that they made everything easy for entrepreneurs. Things were very direct, things happen very fast, and especially when you're talking about entrepreneurship and business, speed is of the essence. Speed is a very important thing. That's something, a big difference I noticed in Dubai where I was. They helped entrepreneurs as much as they could, and they were really fast in anything that we needed, and to set up a company or we were focused on a specific industry. So it's something that really was something we appreciated and that we liked about the region specifically.
Oh, it's wonderful that you had such a positive experience in business in the Middle East. We are here at the DELPHI Economic Forum, and the topic is the shop of the new. You're specializing now in AI. Would you like to tell us a little bit more about how do you think AI will transform industries?
Well, I think the important thing when answering this question about how AI will transform is to have sort of a balance. What I mean is you get the two extremes. You get people who think AI will change everything, and you get people who say it's not so big. So it's very important to be very balanced and observe objectively what's happening right now. So what it definitely is, it's definitely a technology that is going to change a lot of things. Now, how it changes and how it affects everything is up to us. Another important aspect of it is that when we're talking about AI, we must not forget that even though AI is a very powerful tool, it's still a tool that is up to us how we're going to use it and where we're going to implement it and how it's going to be integrated into society. So it's very important for me to maintain a balance. It's going to change everything. How it's going to change everything, I think it's still early to determine. I think anybody who just gives an opinion now how to change something is guessing because they don't know. You can't know. So I think it's very important to maintain a balance opinion and observe things and try to see where the AI can implement itself better and try to pinpoint those, depending on the specific person, try to pinpoint where they can utilize it the best as a tool.
True, because ultimately it's a tool to make our lives better, and everything's about how you use it, and hopefully we're on the right moderation. So if an entrepreneur, business person would like to access the resources of your company, how your company would help them?
Okay, well, a big thing, again, when it comes to AI, what we do with Delta AI is we realize that people are a lot of building things in AI, but because everything's so new and fresh, they don't know what they're building. Yeah. So they don't get what they want out of the tool that they're building. Yeah. So what we have looked at first is what we provide an AI readiness support for the companies. That AI readiness support, it does a very important thing for them. First of all, it analyzes the companies and lets them know where they are in AI right now, in terms of the infrastructure, in terms of the company, what they're doing well, what they're not doing so well. And then what we do is we provide them that report. We sit in the company for a week, 2 days, 3 days, depending on the company. We give them the report, and then we can pinpoint two optional paths forward, either an off-the-shelf solution which benefits them, or a custom-made solution, AI solution, after though it had the whole in-depth analysis of where they are as a company in the industry and company in terms of infrastructure, people, because don't forget the people part of AI is a huge part that no one's talking about right now. How it's going to impact people, not just infrastructure and companies. And so once they have that analysis, it helps them to know not only what to build, but also very targeted build AI project, which is very, very important.
Yes. Do you see any great risks in the business today or through the AI implementation with everything happening in the world?
Definitely. For example, I think there are specific risks and then there are more generic risks. And one specific risk I could mention, I think the whole issue of data is already very, very important, but I think it's going to become even more important as AI progresses in terms of, because don't forget, data is what separates AI to the tools amongst themselves to a large extent, but also the whole issue of data leakage. Data specifically to certain organizations is going to become more and more important. So the ownership of that data, and also don't forget what people want a local tool, ideally for me. So they don't want that data leaving their companies and their businesses. So that's going to become very, very important. And also another risk for AI, for example, I think on a larger, if we zoomed out, another risk is how AI is going to impact people in their day-to-day lives. Already you're seeing the impact of that. For example, talking to AI and listening to AI, they take what AI says, for example, as absolute truth, and that, you know, it's just a tool that was invented by us to give you a specific answer. So there's something, again, goes back to what I mentioned before. It needs balance, and that balance is something that's very difficult, but something that we're going to have to try and find the right balance in moving forward with AI.
True, and I think also as human beings, we need also to use our critical thinking when we use the information or the AI. I think that's a very good point that you mentioned indeed. Look, anything else before we wrap up as a message to our audience in the Middle East and worldwide?
I think AI does bring along with it a lot of risks, but at the same time, I think it brings along with it a lot of opportunity. And I think we have to be very wise when looking at AI and trying to see how best we can integrate AI into our daily lives. I think advice I could give to people right now is that even if it's something very little or something not considered to be very in-depth AI, try to integrate AI, try to work with AI as much as you can in your everyday life, and try to become accustomed to it, and that will put you in a much better position moving forward in the future.
True. I wish you all the best in this new adventure of your business. I think, is where the world is going. It's a present and future. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks a lot.